where we're going to absolutely shatter the most comforting theatrical illusion on Earth.
So ask yourself, who really holds the absolute title to your nation? From a very young age, we're taught to believe that ultimate authority rests squarely in the hands of the people we elect.
I mean, we watch these endless political campaigns. We passionately debate national policies. We pour our time, our energy, and our hopes into the democratic process. We genuinely believe that the destiny of a country is being written by sovereign leaders right there inside those grand legislative halls. We think the power sits right at the podium.
Well, actually, scratch that. It's all an illusion. If you look past the political speeches and trace the underlying balance sheets of global finance, that deeply comforting theatrical illusion just instantly shatters. Because here's the real architecture of power. Modern empires, they don't conquer territories with armies or missiles anymore. No, they conquer through ledgers. They conquer through massive compounding loops of international debt. In the world of global finance, whoever holds the debt holds the absolute title to the entire nation.
Part 1. The Bond Market Dictatorship, the Silent Coup.
Okay, so when a government inevitably wants to spend massive amounts of money it simply doesn't have, it issues sovereign bonds. And who steps up to buy them? Massive central banks, international megabanks, and these incredibly elite shadow financial syndicates.
Now, what this does is create a terrifying structural dependency over an entire population. It quietly locks sovereign states into a financial cage governed entirely by those institutional creditors. Let's break down exactly how fast this trap snaps shut. Step 1. A sovereign government passes a law protecting workers, lowering medical costs, or restricting corporate resource extraction. Step 2. International creditors retaliate by immediately selling off that nation's bonds. Step 3. Within literally minutes, the currency collapses, interest rates skyrocket, and the economy faces absolute strangulation. And Step 4. The politicians surrender. They quickly realize they answer to the institutional bondholders funding their deficits. It totally proves that democratic processes are entirely secondary to creditor satisfaction.
Part 2. The privatization weapon, physical extraction. Which leads us to the inevitable question, what actually happens when a country can no longer afford to pay its interest? Well, when the interest mathematically outpaces the revenue, that debt cage closes completely. That's when international financial gatekeepers step in. They offer restructuring loans, sure, but those loans come with extremely strict, non-negotiable demands known as structural adjustments. We're talking about a forced fire sale of physical assets to private corporations at massive, massive discounts.
The targets here are a nation's raw, physical lifelines. Think clean water networks, energy grids, commercial shipping ports, and transport infrastructure. They're just handed over to international cartels simply to pay off the interest on fiat loans.
As a result, the local populations are completely stripped of their resource sovereignty. Their most vital infrastructure is turned into corporate cash cows, and every single day, those profits are funneled straight out of the country and right into foreign offshore networks.
Part 3. The superpower debt engine, the global trap.
Now, you might assume this kind of thing only happens to developing nations. Not at all. Even the United States is caught in this exact same trap, with a staggering national debt expanding rapidly past the tens of trillions of dollars.
To keep that massive facade from fracturing, the engine demands two critical things: permanent inflation and constant, endless deficit money printing.
As this debt scales exponentially, power is forcibly shifted away from national treasuries and directly into the hands of the centralized banking systems managing the debt expansion. The currency itself becomes an instrument of absolute leverage. The public works their whole lives dealing with systemic inflation, not even realizing they're paying a permanent, invisible tribute.
Part 4. The Ultimate Debt Cage, Hidden Monopolies. We've systematically pulled back the layers on the hidden monopolies running our modern world. We've looked at the control of your physical resources, like water and food. We've looked at digital choke points like your data networks, medical access, and the very information being fed into your head.
But here is the massive macroeconomic reality we all have to face. All of these separate choke points converge into one single truth. Everything you see, everything you consume, and everything you participate in operates inside a massive, invisible financial cage.
It all comes down to this. Power is about who owns the asset, who holds the contract, and who controls the debt. Power is no longer about geographical borders or military strength. True sovereignty isn't given away. It's systematically bought out.
The systems of control are fully visible now. And you really need to realize that the next time you look at the choices offered by the mainstream world, the ledger is already closed. Because you simply cannot vote your way out of a mathematical debt cage.
The contract has already been signed, which leaves us with this final, chilling realization at the end of our video today. Whose name is truly on the title of your future?